She grows more like me every day. Yesterday we took the carriage up into the peaks for the afternoon. She and Georgiana were scampering around like schoolgirls.
I can imagine that.
Not that I blame Kitty at all. I remember the first time I came out here. Mrs. Bingley's face was somewhat amusing, I'll say.
I can imagine.
Jane? Jane, are you all right?
Aye, fine. A slight headache. Aye.
Jane!
Perhaps she has not met many truly accomplished ladies. I remember Mrs. Darcy saying so once, when we were at Netherfield. Do you recall that?
I do indeed, but that was more than 2 years ago now. I have since met several very accomplished young ladies.
Indeed, but Miss Bennett is not. And after all, none of your sisters ever really pursued your talents beyond a certain level, even Miss Mary.
If we have not met many accomplished young ladies, and have never strived for perfection as you state, Miss Bingley, then it is hardly surprising that my sister doubts anyone is better than dear Georgiana, who is the most competent player she knows. I know your standards are high, but even you have confessed during that same stay at Netherfield 2 years ago that she is the most accomplished young lady of your acquaintances. Miss Darcy is actually trying to say something. Go on, Georgiana.
I do believe Kitty is ready to be fallen in love with.
With Mr. Westwood? Are you quite sure?
Have you seen them together? See what they do?
Yes, I suppose. I haven't seen her this happy since.
The officers at Meryton.
Exactly. Do believe you're right.
Mr. Westwood is a far better match, don't you think?
Indeed. There are far worse men she could be attracted to.
Indeed.
What?
What say you, Mr. Thorogood? Should my sister play on?
Hardly think he cares, do you, Thorogood? Music is seldom heard down in Hampshire.
Perhaps this is a rare treat for him, then. Miss Bennett plays exceptionally well these days.
Quietly amongst ourselves, we're at dinner.
We were merely discussing the weather. It's a fine evening, is it not?
Aye, indeed. And tomorrow, no doubt, will be just as grand.
Apparently, his father's threatened to cut him off if he doesn't pay off his debts.
Debts? To what sum do these debts amount to?
Well, she didn't know for sure, but she reckoned they're somewhere around £30,000.
£30,000? Heaven forbid! Even a man of such a fortune as they. That is a substantial sum, is it not, Lizzie?
Aye, it is indeed. And it would explain his attentions to Georgiana.
To Georgiana? How can that be?
Georgiana has a fortune of...
£30,000? That's right, she does.
And he would not be the first man to prey upon her fortune.
What do you mean, Lizzie?
Don't worry yourself about it, my dear. Now's not the time to discuss it. We shall talk more tomorrow. For I very much doubt this is all we have to learn of Mr. Thorogood.
I suppose you are right.
I've never run from anything in my life, my dear. And I trust you won't either. Times are changing. Our family's expanding. And all the little birds are flying from the nest. It's sad. But at the same time, it leaves a warm feeling inside.
Aye, indeed. The house will seem very empty without the girls.
It'll be a summer wedding, I dare say. And you never know. There might be sounds of new footsteps soon, my dear.
I do hope so.